This College Football Picks Week 2 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by the SGPN Free Roll Football Contest. Join our free season-long pick'em for a chance to win $3,000 and a Super Bowl autographed SGP helmet. Sign up link in the SGPN app. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Use promo code SGPN on your first purchase to save $20. Download the Game Time app and use promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play the Underdog pick'em in college or NFL and win up to 20x in one game. Use promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. We're also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any NFL bet. Only on the DraftKings Sportsbook with code SGP.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Woo! Welcome, everyone, to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Cheers, Sean. We're in Vegas. I'm on vacation mode. Kids are a little bit, hopefully they're not watching, but they're hundreds of miles away.
Seeing their dad just slug down a double Jameson on the rocks. We're here broadcasting live from Las Vegas at the Blue Wire Studios in the beautiful Wynn here. Joining us to talk college football, Colby Dant, a.k.a. the Dantabase, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. What's happening, Colby?
I love picking winners, especially after I meet Killer Cameron.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Well, Colby's
You
very,
know?
if you didn't see before, you didn't see it because you weren't here, but there was a lot of this going on. If you're at youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast, the Colby Dant tail was wagging, and it wasn't for triple option. It wasn't for outdoor FCS football. It was
Killer
for
Cam.
Cameron the Rapper and Mace the Rapper have a sports show that's called It Is What It Is. You can check it out on YouTube. And, so they were doing their show before ours. And, it was cool.
We might have to get him on for a couple minutes. Get a couple picks for week one.
Well,
maybe.
just to get Cameron fired up and then be like, what, you mad? Because it's always great to throw someone else's slogan back at them. It's amazing. We are a few minutes into the show, and we've yet to discuss the Mega Whale Max Parlay. Colby was on Colorado money line. I was on Wyoming money line. We put it together. Colby's like, that's a great idea. 45-1, little cash for the people. What an amazing, amazing game. Colorado.
Which one? Yeah. I mean, both were fantastic.
Can I give you my timeline? So I'm doing the youth soccer thing. And I fortunately had a little bit of time, and I caught the Wyoming, maybe the first quarter.
2 fumbles by DQ James. They go down 17-0.
Texas Tech was dominating.
Yeah.
I was like, well, all right, that was easy money. Counted on the win for old Ryan. Nope. What a fuck. And then I'm watching the little one soccer game. They're getting their ass beat, by the way. Got a real eye-opening moment. Gonna have to look in the mirror.
Wake-up call.
Getting their ass kicked, and meanwhile, I'm on the phone watching in 4K. By the way, shout out to YouTube TV.
Yes.
And holy shit, we're just watching this Colorado team. They're not backing down. And I'm watching the game.
We coming.
And
we tried to tell you.
It resembles the kind of game where eventually Colorado, like, something happens, they go away. But I'll tell you what, for me, what summed up the whole experience was Travis Hunter. Everyone's going to talk about the passing, receiving stats, whatever, the interception, great interception. But before that interception, Colby, the reason why they had that play to defend was Travis Hunter ran like 80 yards.
Across the field. Pulled a Darrell Green against Tony Dorsett, if you know what a...
Pulled a DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
Pulled a whatever.
Okay.
Maximum effort. So, yeah, I mean, obviously the takeaway is Deion is a smart marketer of his team and poured all the chips into the game one, and it worked. and they played the team that was in the national championship.
You
did
tried
try
to
to tell
you.
me. You did,
But,
and
you know,
I think it's a great moment for youth sports coaches who love coaching their kids. I think it's a great moment for the city of Boulder, University of Colorado, and I think Deion Sanders is a genius. That being said, full fade on Deion dumping the Gatorade. Are you kidding me?
Wow. He did. I loved how he went after specific guys in the press conference. Like, do you believe now? Do you believe? I believe. Colby and I believe.
I always believe.
We're on the good guy list.
The best part is he's looking Ed Water dead in the eyes, and he goes, "You don't believe." Next question. God bless Deion.
And they played well. Again, I got laughed off the podcast tossing out Shedeur Sanders' Heisman Trophy.
I'd still laugh at you off the podcast.
Well, I could sell that, Ryan.
Very gimmicky offense.
I noticed when we do this shot, I look like fucking powder. I look fucking really pale.
Well, it's because I'm Italian. I'll sit further away from you.
Yeah,
maybe
Kramer's really
I
throwing
promise
off.
you, I was not struck by lightning before the show.
I was doing a little bronzing, a.k.a. watching youth soccer this weekend. Caught some rays. You know, I was down in San Diego hanging out with the bros.
Oh, look at you flexing.
Not flexing, just I'm an Italian. I'm sorry you're pale. Anyway, yeah, shout out to Colorado. Very exciting moment. Great moment for
It was awesome.
FCS transfers. I mean, they have paved the way now for an FCS player to come from the FCS and go to the big time.
If you watch Florida State, their best player on defense is a guy named Jared Verse, who's an Albany transfer, and he's been a stud.
Is Travis Hunter the best FCS transfer
ever? I think there's Cam Ward in the mix, the Washington State quarterback who just threw for like 1,000 yards.
Lit it up. I feel like maybe we were. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like last preseason we were all in on the Cam Ward hype train, maybe a year too early on Cam Ward, but he had an amazing game. Almost put up 500 yards of offense.
Is it the Jerry Rice award? What's the
Jerry Rice?
Yeah,
That's no, Walter Payton. It's Walter Payton.
It's the Heisman of the FCS. Basically.
Yeah,
Cam Ward won that award.
Cam Ward's a stud.
Yeah, no, I agree. Travis Hunter,
Jared Verse is a stud.
When's the last time a player has played every snap on offense and defense? He didn't play every snap.
You know, it's 2023 where everyone likes to think football is some incredibly dangerous sport.
Colby,
believe what you want to believe.
This isn't a political statement. When was the last time someone played every play or almost virtually every play?
I mean, you'd have to go back a ways. I don't even think Champ Bailey played that much. But
do you think they'll do this all year?
A good portion of it, yes.
Hey, I like it. It's good for this. It's good for the sport. I just don't. I don't think they're going to be a great team.
Okay. No, but they can at least be a beating TCU
bowl team, maybe. I'll give them maybe
Ball. Sammy Ball, once led the NFL in passing and also led him with interceptions because he was a safety. We can do this.
I was desperately ratcheting, going through my brain, thinking for a hilarious two-way player. I couldn't come up with a single one.
Oh, Chuck Bednarik, Ryan.
Tony Romo came to mind, but so a slightly different situation.
A little different thing going on there.
Oh, golfer, football player, likes to find the hole.
We announced it on yesterday's DFS podcast. If you missed that, you got to check it out. Great time as always. But listen to that music. That is big-time announcement music. The free roll football contest is back better than ever. Up to $3,000 up for grabs. Again, completely free to enter. And as always, if you're a Patreon member, your prize doubles. And if you win the contest and you're a Patreon member for the NFL season, you get that autographed Sports Gambling Podcast helmet with Joe Theismann on there, LeGarrette Blount, Pac-Man Jones, Bill Romanowski. So make sure you the link is in the SGPN app.
Colby, have you heard about this? The helmet that's in the studio.
I have. You might find a limited edition Pick Dundee autograph on there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Yes, you get to decide.
Very limited edition.
If you win the helmet, again, you have to be in the Patreon. You have to win the free roll football contest.
My landlord don't even take that.
But if you win it, you can request if you want Kramer and I or Colby to autograph the helmet as well. Or, because they would increase in value, I would imagine exponentially.
Mine might hurt the value a little bit.
My youngest daughter.
I just imagine taking that helmet to pawn shop, and they got a mini helmet here in the studio, taking the helmet to pawn shop, and they're like looking over. All right, Pac-Man Jones, Bill Romanowski, Sean stacking the money green, all the great defenders.
Well, I
in the
mean,
Super Bowl.
Sean
Yeah.
Green is I remember there was a small forward for the Pacers named Sean Green. There was the Dodger, the Los Angeles Dodgers, Sean Green. You can get away with it, buddy.
We do have a shot of the mini helmet in the Blue Wire studio with our autographs on there. That's pretty cool. Look at that sweet
Yeah,
zoom in.
I will say it's kind of displayed in its normal natural habitat with other autographed helmets,
Yes.
and it looks very in place. I would say our helmet, it stands up. If we were doing like a helmet off with other professional teams and college teams, I'd stand up to our. The matte black is always a good look.
Matt Black is a badass.
Very any given Sunday.
All right, let's
Get a
get,
chainsaw, cut it through Sean's fucking Jeep.
let's get to the picks. Before we do that, of course, shout out to DraftKings. That's right. College football, NFL, you know where you can get down? That's DraftKings. Use the promo code SGP. $200 of bonus bets instantly. Are you kidding me? Imagine if you took those $200 of bonus bets, put them on the Wyoming, Colorado parlay we gave out. You'd be looking at $9K. Oh, it's criminal what we're doing here. DraftKings they're considering canceling the sponsorship. We give out more winners. I said, sorry, DraftKings. We're men of the people. Download now. Use the code SGP to sign up. New customers can take home $200 of bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. Code SGP only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Kramer, let's get to the picks. What do we got?
The crown. Any other takeaways before we move on? Because I feel like we can't.
I'm a fucking genius. You know what I mean?
We touted already.
We didn't
finished
go over,
touting.
We didn't go over the records.
Oh, we're not done touting. Okay.
Everyone is they say if you're over 53%, you're a professional gambler. So everyone on the show, professional gambler. Colby and I, 58% overall. Kramer, 53%. Colby with an insane 83% on his locks.
It's pretty funny to see the tally site graphic that they post. And it's got like, not only is he dominating whatever metric they're sorting it by, but some of these guys have picked like 30 games. And meanwhile, Colby, it's like 190 games.
No, I like how they have the sports IQ. I don't know. Can we get a breakdown on what exactly that means?
We'll get a special PowerPoint.
Because I'm blowing them away. It's like I have a machine gun to them, but I need to know what the hell that actually means. Is it just?
It could just be that you're close to AI level of intelligence.
One guy is really mad in the chat, Austin, saying, can't believe we have to listen to Kramer's nonsense favorites.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry.
Why is it? Well, first of all, welcome to the college football show. It's not just about favorites. I might not be all on favorites. It's all about market dynamics. And I think there was a lot of shade thrown my way.
Is that a rap group?
It could be if you want it
Market
to be.
dynamics.
Lot
Cameron and Mace coming back.
We can, I'm happy to have a market dynamics conversation, but a lot of shade was thrown my way. And meanwhile, basically keeping pace with you motherfuckers. So I don't see why the hate. I don't see why the hate
trash
is.
talking at its finest.
I get it.
Basically keeping pace with
What are
you.
you talking about, though?
All of
I'm
our
looking
basic-
at like week
Hold
one.
on,
You
Colby.
lost your locks.
No, Colby, you're doing better than me. This is more of a collective. I'm right there with you. No I in team. You're 3 picks ahead of me overall. That's what I would say to that.
But what about your lock record? Let's talk about
we're
your lock
working
record.
on it. I'm at 50. I'm at 50%, but we're not measuring in that way. Where we really need to measure is 2 things. One, producer Josh. We might have to remove his columns from the sheet. He has yet to have
He's
a
on
winning
the
week.
hot seat.
But most importantly, we track the Discord picks because the Discord, of course, said when these 3 idiots agree, we go the other way. Well, the Discord is doing horrible, Sean. If you
bad.
just took the picks, or we all agree, you'd be 11-5 right now.
Oh my God.
So Discord,
Sucks to be Discord.
eat it.
Although the Discord is pretty sweet.
And by the way, Sean, I added a new feature to the sheet. I don't know if you noticed this, but we have a dog matrix where you'll see all the dog prices and color-coded results.
Yeah, get those sheets on the Patreon. Nicholas Greenwald checking in, saying if Nebraska gets to 4.5, I'm slamming it. I think it might be
why does
late
it need
in
to
the
get to
week.
4.5?
Well, we'll get to that. Why don't we start? What do we got, Ryan? What are we talking about?
Let's get it started. Friday night. Wait, the date's correct. It's Friday night.
Yes,
right? Friday
Friday
night football under the lights. Poor high schools all over. They're being competed with Kansas, a basketball.
They're being competed with.
Illinois and Kansas. These are basketball schools.
Not
4:30 on the
anymore.
West Coast. Kansas expects to have our Heisman hopeful, Jalen Daniels, back. I think Colby can confirm that. And
yes.
Meanwhile, Illinois heads to town, catching 3, plus 140 on the money line, minus 160 for the Jayhawks. 56.5 is the total. Is it as simple as Jalen Daniels back? We like this situation because I have seen a lot of sharp prognosticators, people who put originator in their Twitter bio, or sorry, X bio.
Plus EV better.
Which, by the way, what's worse, putting originator or plus EV better?
It's originator's pretty douchey because there's no way that's true. But plus EV better is just right behind it. Kansas, though, again, looked pretty good even without Jalen Daniels. They returned 10 out of 11 guys on offense from last year. They're good at home. I think, Colby, I mean, can we get a pulse check on Kansas at home for Friday night? This seems like a great spot. Now, I understand the case for Illinois. Look decent in the opener, might be able to run the ball on Kansas here
Joe
a little
Judge
bit.
coaching tree.
I don't think they ran the ball as good as we thought they would, and I would argue. I mean,
yeah, maybe disappointing.
Toledo's a very good team in the MAC, but they won the MAC. They won the MAC last year. That game was a lot closer than I thought it would be. Toledo actually had them stopped at a 4th and 5 with 2 minutes left.
It does feel like Illinois probably should have beat them by more. What was that? What was the spread in that game?
No. I feel like coming into it, I thought Illinois would beat them by more. After watching it, I feel like Toledo should have won the game.
Yeah,
they had them at really backed up 4th and 5, 2 minutes left in the game. And Illinois was able to pull it out, but I have concerns. I get it, that Kansas' run defense was terrible last year, but Illinois didn't run the ball that great against Toledo, and getting Jalen Daniels there.
I think they're going to be again. There is a bit of the unknown with Jalen Daniels, but assuming the reports we've been hearing that he is going to play, and again it was back tightness. I think if it wasn't Missouri State, I think he would have been out there, and I think they felt pretty good in their backup. But Illinois lost 3 starters in their secondary from a year ago. I think they're going to be able to throw the ball on this Illinois team. I think they're going to be able to move the ball. I think the environment's going to be electric. I love Kansas here laying the 3.
I'm with you. I'm going to take it. Illinois, it's a brand new team. I feel like they're still going to be solid. But at the same time, Kansas has everybody back. They're the better team right now, I feel like. So give me Kansas at home, laying the 3.
Kramer, what are you doing?
Is that too simple? It has been reported by multiple sources that he is going to play.
He's going to play.
Barring a setback.
He's definitely going to play.
We have boots on the ground. Nicholas Greenwald lives in Lawrence, said shit's going to be packed.
Yeah. They just threw a bunch of money behind football, man. Watch out.
Kansas catching over 70% of the tickets and the cash here.
Who else who caught a lot of tickets, Ryan? Colorado Buffaloes.
Yeah, no, I mean I like Jalen Daniels being back. I think that's probably the angle. But I'm all about market dynamics. So give me Illinois. Give me the
Kramer is leaning into his college football heel. I love it.
All
the teams that we like, the programs we like, the programs we're on.
I like Jalen Daniels.
You just don't. But if you like him to win the Heisman, you got to like him laying 3 on a Friday night game against Illinois.
As someone who has struggles with back problems, I don't know if he's going to be 100%. And
it's from my weed.
It's medicinal. Thank you. That was private. Also, thanks for making it public. Yeah, no, I also just think when you look at I think what you guys were discussing with, was it impressive what Illinois did in the first game? Who cares? They're going to run it down their throat again. And so if you think Kansas can stop it, cool.
I'd say the bigger thing was Illinois had the number 1 defense in the nation last year. Ryan Walters, the defense coordinator, heads out to Purdue.
Sure.
Toledo was able to move the ball on themselves. So if they can, I know damn well Lance Leipold can.
Let's see it.
Let's go.
Excellent Friday night game, by the way. Basketball in September. All right, Saturday, 9 a.m. By the way, that wasn't a favorite for the chat who was saying I only take favorites. 9 a.m. on the West Coast, Boulder, Colorado.
Oh,
shocking that this one's on the board. Oh, look at our hello, party people.
Woman shaking her tail.
Oh
feather.
wow, gee, we coming. Colorado.
Right, you can't say that.
Well, we're talking about Colorado.
Okay.
-3. -150 on the money line. Nebraska +130. 57 is the total. obviously the story sweeping sports gambling, college football world. This was I think 9.5, 10-point early line look ahead.
Swing.
We have a 13-point swing. We also have, quote, the most money we will see on a regular season college football game on Colorado and only on Colorado. It's fielding more action than any of the Week 1 NFL slates.
Prime.
So Prime is having an effect on college football. But
Damn right he is.
Again, if the theme of the show is being intelligent plus EV and originators, there's no way you're moving a number this much off of one game. They dumped the Gatorade, 129 snaps for Travis Hunter. He's going to be letting down a little bit. And, oh, by the way, this is a massive rivalry, as Colby would tell you. If you watch that Church of McCarthy,
Yep.
one of the scenes that stands out to me is he's sitting on a bench, and he looks back, and there's a mountain behind him. He says, you telling me all I got to do is beat out Nebraska with this?
Well, there's a part where he says, "I'd rather be dead than caught in red," and that's part of the fun right there.
Big rivalry, obviously homecoming. A little worried about the expectations. Curious on what you guys are gonna, how you guys are gonna explain the 13-point adjustment and why it would be smart to do that when you could have bet plus 10 last week, Sean, like a true sharp better, true plus EV better.
I'll just say this. Let's start right here. I thought Nebraska's offense looked god fucking awful.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I think it's
strong.
You're taking that offense and you're putting it in elevation in a Colorado environment that we've never seen this kind of college football environment in the modern times in Colorado. And you got to go back to like Rashaan Salam to measure the litmus test that you need to track this Colorado team. I understand you've lost some line value here, but I ultimately think this Colorado team is going to get the win. Anything 3 and below, I think you have to take it. I think it could be a close game, but still, Colorado at home, we saw them able to move the ball against against TCU. And now Nebraska, I understand they have a little bit longer rest, and I understand, normally I like to fade the team dumping the Gatorade. But
you're the originator of that trend.
Yes, and I'm fading as a man who knows that trend. I don't think it applies here because I saw a pervasive chip on their shoulder. I think if it was the other way around, if they won at home and then they were going on to the road, I think that's where you could see some letdown. As a situational handicapper, you get the massive win on the road. You come back for another massive game. Now, if we look towards Colorado, the rest of their schedule, I think there are some times for some letdown opportunities, including the following week at home against Colorado State, who's going to come in with an insane chip on their shoulder. But right now, first home game in the Deion era, Ryan.
About to say,
I looked you in the eyes last week when we did this podcast, and I asked you how many times has Deion Sanders, as a coach or a player, been embarrassed on a football field?
We're not counting the Celebration Bowl.
They didn't get embarrassed. They lost.
Losing the championship
Yeah.
to an FCS team, that's embarrassing.
Weren't they an FCS team?
Oh, yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's embarrassing.
It wasn't embarrassing. They didn't come.
They had a 5-star. He plays both ways. Haven't you heard? Travis Hunter, Heisman hopeful.
Your hate for this
But
team,
they
I
did
don't
not have
understand.
Sean Lewis, and this is the real factor here, folks. Deion Sanders, as you alluded to,
Great.
This is the first ever home game, and it is a big-time rivalry. And then you add in the fact that Matt Rule has called him out twice in the offseason, essentially. They ain't winning this game. They are not winning this game. Colorado's going to destroy them. They're going to load the box. Jeff Sims couldn't fucking hit an open pass to save his life last week.
Is TCU
right?
better than Minnesota?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Minnesota was all.
Minnesota looked like trash, man.
Yeah.
Their quarterback was terrible. They're calling him the Greek rifle. He looked like trash. The Minnesota run game wasn't
you
there.
watch that Nebraska quarterback. I was watching with Patty and C and Colby. Fucking Spectrum. The game went out. I had to stream it off my laptop on a fucking cell phone. Luckily, I got 5Gs going. And we're sitting there, and when Nebraska gets the ball back, we're like, I don't know, what do you do here? Because you want to be kind of conservative because you know this kid's going to fuck it up. And then he did. You saw it coming a million miles away. And, Ryan, the spread is 3. It's telling you it's going to be a close game. Matt Rule picking right. right where Scott Frost left off as far as losing close games.
And the people in the chat are saying, well, Nebraska is going to be able to run on them. Not if you load the box. TCU has way better wide receivers than Nebraska. Way better wide receivers.
TCU can throw
right?
the ball. We saw that Nebraska quarterback. He cannot throw the ball.
Well, and Colorado's got the best corners in the Pac-12.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Cormani McClain, the number 2 recruit or number 1, depending on what. He didn't even play last week. He's playing this week. Also, Alton McCaskill, the former AAC freshman of the year.
Nebraska turned it over 4 times. Jeff Sims threw 3 picks. I understand. I think it's going to be a little slower turnaround for this Nebraska team. And Gus Johnson's there. Come on, this is electric.
This place is going to burn down, buddy.
He's just on the bus with Deion all year. That was part of the deal.
I mean, it's not a bad strategy.
Nicholas Greenwell says corners don't stop the run. That's not my point. My point is they can go man up and load everybody in the box.
I will say, I think that their strength is the secondary, and I think we were talking about this. There were times where had TCU committed to the run, they were breaking off huge chunks, and they just didn't stay committed to it.
The difference is Colorado had to respect the pass, though.
No,
with Nebraska, they don't have to respect the pass.
You might be right, but if they just get in there and they're able to just keep hitting them in the mouth, I would say the weakness of that Colorado team.
This isn't Nebraska with Dean Steinkooler in the fucking 90s here.
But
Dean Steinkooler.
But you've even said this. The roster is shallow, and so attrition at the defensive line position.
True, but I'm just saying this is not a dominant Nebraska offense.
Okay. I'll take the points again. You chalky motherfuckers.
Let's go. We tried to help you last week.
Chalk.
You don't want our help this week.
Discord is thirsty as fuck. Matt Rule.
You know what? You don't believe.
I don't believe. I don't believe.
Colby, this is going to be so great.
We're
opening the show in week 3 if Ryan doesn't believe with
baptism.
If they win, it's just going to be.
Oh, no.
Yeah. We're going to be like, he's going to be like Ed Werder. Right? He's going to be sitting there saying, huh? You believe now? You believe now?
I'll let Deion baptize me if they go over their win total.
They already won 1 game.
If they make a bowl game, Deion can baptize me.
Okay. No, I would pray
Reach
for that.
out to Deion and let him know when my availability is.
How about this? People are like, Nebraska's defense was so good against Minnesota. Minnesota's offense was ass last year, and they lost a ton. Shedeur Sanders is a really good quarterback.
I'll just say this. We don't want to overreact to a single game. We won't know if TCU is garbage for a couple weeks now. They have Nicholls State this week. So let's just pump the brakes.
Meanwhile,
guys,
Eastern Michigan live dog against Minnesota.
Overreact. You guys are overreacting to week 1.
You're underreacting.
9 a.m. on the West Coast.
Show.
Let's head to Raleigh, North Carolina, where the ultimate private school pussies of South Bend, Indiana, Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, laying 8 points here against the Wolfpack of NC State, plus 260 at home for NC State, minus 300 the other way. 50.5 is the total. NC State seems like a slight step up in class for Notre Dame. Obviously, my gambling instincts say NC State has to be the side here. Sam Hartman, I just don't believe the offense yet. I don't know if you.
No, I mean Notre Dame's a weird team to break down,
number.
right? Because they've put up dominating scores both games, 42-3 over Navy, 56-3 over Tennessee State.
Who cares?
Right, but
Who
still
cares?
they did look amazing, but they haven't been tested at all. So I think it's tough to really get a good gauge on this Notre Dame team. I mean, it's hard to say they haven't looked bad, right?
No, they've looked great.
They've looked great, but they've played nobody. And
Navy without the proper cut blocking of the triple option.
But you saw Army lose as a 10-point favorite to ULM last week.
Trash.
Yeah, I mean, how about this? Sam Hartman is 0-2 playing in Raleigh.
Yeah.
There is that.
And I do like Brennan Armstrong as a home dog. I know it was a little closer maybe than you would want against NC State. When we were on UConn, that felt like a great situation spot for them. A look-ahead spot a little bit for NC State. But to their credit, they got the win. They won by double digits there. So
probably still should have covered.
Yeah. But again, I mean, UConn is a home dog. They were going to
That was an easy play.
Yes.
Easy play.
And they're getting NC State getting Savion Jackson back, senior defensive end. I think that's going to be huge for slowing down this Notre Dame offense. The -8 feels interesting here. My lean is just to go home dog here, but where are you at, Colby?
No, I'm with you too, man. Notre Dame has looked better than I anticipated, but once again, that is Tennessee State and Navy.
You can't. That's garbage.
Yeah, but originally I said this screamed to me as a trap game. Like this is one everyone's talking about, that Ohio State matchup they have. They have to go to Raleigh. No one's talking about NC State. I think Brennan Armstrong is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in America, and he's back reunited with Robert and I, so I think they'll be able to move the ball. And one thing that did pop out to me in the first half of that Navy game was Notre Dame's run defense isn't as good as it traditionally is. Now, Robert and I is not known for running the ball, but Brennan Armstrong had over 100 yards running in that UConn game. So I say getting more than a touchdown, take NC State, sprinkle a little bit on the money line.
Oh, okay. Live dog warning. Kramer, where are you at? It sounds like you're looking to fade Notre Dame here.
I fade you guys maybe, but I told you this one was the one that I didn't think there was much to handicap here. I'm not sure why anyone would want to lay 8 points with Notre Dame, unless you're just new to college football. Maybe you're new to all of this, because great. They looked. When's the last time they've been a team you want to lay the points with?
I would say it's.
I don't give a shit about Marcus Freeman just because he has a nice haircut. Let's get over ourselves, all right? He's got a hot girlfriend. Cool. He's dripping in amongst the Catholics.
I could have swore you told me Charlie Weiss had a nice haircut.
Oh no!
I mean, the case
neck rolls aren't my style.
The case natural. The case for Notre Dame is they pushed people around there on the line of scrimmage,
but NC State always has a good D line.
That's what I'm saying. NC State always has that really good defensive line.
Like I said, they got the guy back, so I'll go NC State as a home.
Also, you guys always miss this, but Notre Dame has that weird sexual tension with the ACC teams. Because they're kind of
won't they?
But they're not
Aren't
really
they the worst with them? Them behind the deal, behind the scenes with the ACC saying you should let Stanford and Cal in, and it's like, bitch, you're not even a part of the conference all the way.
If ACC is going to be the Illuminati conference, join Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is like
that's what it is.
They are
right?
the Illuminati.
We got Duke. Yeah. We got all the private schools.
Notre Dame's in like a common
even SMU.
Notre Dame's in like a common law marriage with the ACC where they just won't commit. It's like you live together. You guys have been hooking up for years. It's like a friends with benefits thing. Just commit to the ACC.
Don't you love how Stanford called in Condoleezza Rice and
the big
SMU
guns.
sent in George W. To get these guys in the ACC? Are we kidding?
It's like Kingsmen. Like how they had the Americans. Well, you got you got the Southern ones from Duke, and then you got the SMU Kingsmen, then you have the Stanford Kingsmen. Notre Dame's got to join. Come on, guys. Pull down on your rock lever and walk down your secret hallway, get naked in a bath of blood, and just join the ACC already. I assume that's what happens, right? There's one of those weird tributes where it's like, okay, one of you, we're going to tie a rope to your dick. Was that old school? NC State.
Somebody's wearing the mask of a raven.
An eagle, raven. I don't know. Third eye. We can see the future. All right. So just for the record,
Chet seems to be on Notre Dame though. NC State offense is weak. Daquan the Great pointing out don't have an offense. Nick Douglas questioning the NC State offense.
We've seen one fucking game. What's everyone getting these opinions about?
UConn was at least a bowl team last year. I feel like UConn.
Jim Mora Jr.
Great
coach.
I trust that team way more than Navy or Tennessee State.
All right, first pick on the board for the Discord. They're on Notre Dame and the Little Leprechauns, which, by the way, a lot of other schools, we'd be making fun of most people if their mascot was a short person who wore funny shoes and a funny
enough
hat.
of your anti-Irish sentiment.
Tables have turned. We're still at 9 a.m. Nice early slate. We'll have to make sure we get up for these, Sean.
Oh, it's going to be brutal.
Yeah, we are. We will be coming off the late night VSiN
official debut of the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSiN, 9 o'clock Pacific. If you got YouTube TV, it's right there. You can listen for free anywhere, vsin.com. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome. Special guests, couple bits planned, and broadcasting live from the circuit. It's going to be great.
And me and Sean.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be here. 9 a.m. on the West Coast. Waco, Texas. Baylor. They really shit. They shit the bed like that dude on that
Nobody
flight.
goes to Waco and gets a win, right, Colby? Just ask the ATF.
Oh, wow. Gee.
Too soon?
Oh
Too
my
soon.
goodness. I'm ducking. Duck and cover. Utah comes to town, laying 7.5. I don't think we have clarity on the quarterback situation.
We do on the Baylor quarterback. He's out.
Not Utah.
Yeah.
Oh, Cam Rising is cleared to
Questionable.
practice.
Questionable from what
I'm going to say, based on last week's shenanigans, he's not going to play. Utah, I even think the spread indicates he's not going to play. Minus, because as Colby wisely pointed out last week, it doesn't matter. Minus 300 on the money line. Baylor plus 250. 47.5 is the total. Obviously, Baylor looked like hot fucking garbage. Obviously, it's incredibly difficult to want to click Baylor this week.
Yeah.
But that's what you have to do. Utah away from home, completely different team.
That is true.
Baylor coming off like probably the worst spot or the worst situation they're going to have all year.
A couple things happened last week too. Now, there's no excuse in Texas, losing to Texas State, but Baylor did have both their corners and a safety out. So they were starting
Doesn't
backups.
matter, right?
Yeah, I understand, but I'm saying those guys are back.
But the defense, I mean, Baylor, it's one thing to lose.
Oh, sorry. Some of our followers. Oh, great. Our fans are out there. Greetings.
Yeah.
The guy had like a home
You can tell
camcorder.
That was pretty sweet. He's
That's
vlogging.
awesome.
He's from Waco.
Yeah, he's vlogging.
No, just real quick. I mean, it's one thing to lose to a Texas State in like a fluky way, et cetera, and looking ahead to Utah here at home. But Texas State scored on 6 of 8 possessions at one point in the game. Like it's one thing to lose, but there was like a laying down of the Baylor defense, of the Baylor program that I think to me
it's one game.
was pretty shocking. Again, it is college sports. The game gets away from you a little bit. You're like, oh shit, we're gonna lose to Texas State, and they can't get out of it.
What was the first play of that Florida game? Fucking just balls on the
80-yard
table,
touchdown.
bomb.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, this game's over. And then Graham Mertz was Graham Mertz, and that was history. So while I do agree, like it's gross to take Baylor, the line even probably is trying to help us take Baylor.
I like taking Baylor. I actually believe Dave Aranda will bounce back. And guys, they're honoring Mike Leach, so they don't have Blake Shapen this week. College football is honoring Mike Leach, a lot of different schools, and Sawyer Robertson, their quarterback, he was at Mississippi State last year with Coach Leach, so he's going to be asked to step up, and I think he will step up, and I think this crowd will be lit, and I think Dave Aranda will put a much better game plan together to stop the Utah quarterback situation.
It just does seem, okay, you lost to a school you had no business losing to. You're back at home as a huge dog.
And Utah's had their struggles on the road throughout their time.
Utah to me at home is just an autoplay. On the road, it's a whole other kettle of fish. I'm on Baylor. I'm with you guys. Plus 7.5 feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think maybe the last thing we'll say on this, I just think Utah in general away from home just really got to start with fading them, and then you can maybe figure out a reason to play them. All right, wow, great weekend of college football, Colby. Great early slate. Now we're moving over to the 12:30 kick on the West Coast. Rivalry spot, Ames, Iowa. We got Iowa State, and I'm looking at the Ferentz offensive point tracker. 25 points required per game. He only got 24. He's at a deficit right now.
He needs to make up some ground.
And by the way, I just looked at the box score, but had they scored like 2 touchdowns in the first quarter? Maybe
they did. They were scoring.
He was sitting pretty. He was probably counting his root beer floats he was going to get from Dad.
Sarsaparillas, I believe they call it.
Oh yeah, sorry. And now here we are in the Gamblers Anonymous Bowl. Iowa laying 4 on the road. Wow, minus 185 on the money line.
DJ Bowl.
DJ Bowl. Oh, that's actually a great name.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get that. Maybe they're probably up. They could use a couple bucks, right? Plus 155 for Iowa State. 36.5 is the total, which that's a glorious college football total.
That's fantastic.
That is glorious. So Matt Campbell was last year was his first win.
Yes.
Against Iowa.
Yes.
Feels like a rivalry dump the Gatorade moment, Sean. And I think we swing back over to Iowa.
Interesting, because my default says in Iowa versus Iowa State, if any team is getting 3 points or more, I take the dog. Just because covering 4 points as a road team is an astronomical ask, either for Iowa or Iowa State.
He's chasing a point.
Who?
Brian Ferentz.
Yeah.
He's chasing a point. High urgency to get it done.
No, but Matt Campbell's defenses are legit at Iowa State. But
Iowa, again, everyone shits on Iowa's offense, but They did not. They were not good, man. 4.1 yards per play, 88 rushing yards at home against Utah State.
4.1's like great compared to
gonna
last
say,
year, but
That's
yeah.
not bad.
No, I think this is where
These
you worry
games
about
are like
Iowa State's
17-14 every time. That to me is, I take Iowa State getting the 4 points, but I don't even know if I like it on the money line because I do think it's a bounce back spot historically for Iowa.
I just think Iowa did a great job in the portal. I think they're going to be very good. And Iowa State's depth, they looked really good against a good Northern Iowa squad in the FCS, but I just don't know if it's sustainable. I think I'm looking at something like a 17-6 type of game.
Dude, they only won 30-9 against Northern Iowa. I mean, come on, Sean.
Yeah, give me Northern Iowa's good, buddy. Northern Iowa's good. Normally those games are like field goal games.
Iowa beat Utah State 24-14.
Yeah, but I think Iowa. I just think Iowa's the better team this year, and I think they go into Ames, get it done. Like I said, 17-6.
Utah State keeps
maybe
a good
20-9, something like that.
You got rivalry, home dog. Iowa State all day.
Lay the points. Iowa also will be talking about. They'll be catching 3 touchdowns in the Big Ten championship game. That's a prediction I'm putting in right now. I don't know why we didn't just bet on Iowa to win the division. I'm writing that down in my college football notebook for next year. Bet on Iowa. There's no more divisions. Fuck. Colby, we fucked up. This is the last year.
To your guys' point, Iowa is 7-0 ATS in games where the point total is under 38. But this Iowa State team.
Good luck, Matt Campbell. I feel like I feel like this Brian Ferentz thing is going to be something I'm tracking all. It's going to be like the Amazing Race, but
Iowa should step up right now. Their president or whatever, or athletic director, rip it away because it's like, what's the points to win the fucking game?
Yeah,
you know
it's just like Kyler and the study clause. It was embarrassing. They took it out. All right, next up, another 12:30 kick down in beautiful South Florida, Miami. Host Texas A&M. I wonder if Texas A&M brings the parade on the road when they travel to nice places like Miami.
That dog travels.
Yeah. And those seats are open. Did you guys see the Miami game? It's like 12 people at that fucking game.
But they're back. They're back
week.
so much that Tyler Van Dyke hired a lawyer to trademark Tyler Van
Dime, dropping dimes.
Danny Dimes has since sent an injunction to stay the fuck out of his name. Texas A&M, or maybe what did Chris Ross or Will
keep
Smith
my
say?
name out of your mouth.
I had a much better opportunity for a joke there. Texas A&M laying 4 here, minus 190 on the money line. Miami plus 160 at home, 51.5 is the total. This is an interesting matchup. This is probably the most interesting matchup in terms of every other game that we've spoken about so far. I blinked and I knew which side I was taking because of the obvious market dynamics. This one's tricky. Colby, you're going to have to Sherpa me on this one.
Well, you got road rash face, Bobby Petrino. He is in
that.
South Beach. There's a lot of scattered ass. You know what I mean?
Any sidecar?
Take that motorcycle on a ride.
You imagine him on a Segway just falling over and just scraping up his face?
A lot of temptation down there in Miami.
You think he rents one of those sidecars to carry his hooars around? Sorry, assistants.
This feels like a field goal game to me, right?
Man, I don't know. Miami did look better than I thought they would. I'll give them credit.
They destroyed Miami of Ohio.
They looked a lot better than I thought they would.
Which I thought they would put up much more of a fight there.
I meant to bring that up in the top of the show. We did learn Miami located in South Florida, not Ohio, officially.
Yes,
we did
officially.
But at the same time, man, I just think A&M. They have to win this, man. This is like a game they're not supposed to trip up here. So I think they're the better team.
But to me, that's when they trip up is when they have tremendous pressure as a road favorite.
But this isn't. They're going to have more A&M fans than Miami fans.
Yeah, I don't think.
Does this count as a road game?
I don't think Miami cares about favorites or
ever since all that Euro trash moved in, huh?
Yeah, I think Tyler Van Dyne is going to be able to throw in this Texas A&M team. I think it's going to be in the fourth quarter. It's going to be a game. I wouldn't be shocked if Texas A&M wins, but I think it's a field goal game. Give me Miami +4.
Who had the more impressive win last week?
Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm taking A&M. I think A&M's just the better team right now. I think the fact that Road Rash faces there is gonna open things up a little bit. Give me A&M to get it done by like 10.
I'm kind of with you, and I mean they did nothing weak. They scored 52 points, which
I like the over in this game too.
Can we be honest?
Talking about it, I like the over as well.
Well, I mean, would A&M last year have scored 52 points on? No, they scored only 31 against Sam Houston.
They scored more in the first half than they averaged in the game last year.
Yeah. I'm with Colby. And to your point about the traveling fans, they love the pageantry. So I would assume.
They got a ton of money. They're going to go down to Miami and get shit hammered.
I'd imagine everyone's going to be there. And also to your point, Miami fans, horrible people. Hurricanes are very offensive as they kill people every year. And your mascot's a fucking duck. None of this makes any sense. Funded on cocaine, by the way.
You know what does make sense?
That makes sense.
Heading over to Game Time to get those tickets. You want a last-minute tickets without the stress. You got to get going over on Game Time. Maybe you are one of the few Miami fans going to the game. You're waiting to the last second. You're busy with other activities in the South Beach area. You get distracted. You go, oh, man, I forgot to grab the tickets. Tony, you were supposed to get the tickets. If you're Tony, you're in trouble. Oh, no, wait, you're not. You got Game Time, the best place to get last-minute tickets, less stress, less mess. The worst part about buying tickets online, you always feel like you're getting gouged. You always feel like you're getting screwed. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. That's the Game Time guarantee. Great seats, easy to use, less stress, and use our promo code $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code SGPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, get that account, SGPN, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
I mean, not even messing around, Sean. You can sit lower bowl for this game. Guaranteed there's going to be some late arriving Texas A&M fans with their oil money. You can sit lower bowl for under $200.
Wow.
Yeah.
That almost feels embarrassing. This is a marquee matchup.
You're going to be sitting alone. Do you want to be – that's lonely. You know what I mean? You got to –
Yeah, you go with a group. I mean, I just toggled up to the largest amount, and you can get seats in the bottom bowl. So I think you have –
And $20 off.
Oh, so it's definitely under $200.
Yeah.
What a deal. All right. Moving along. Just a quick update. I didn't call it out earlier, but the Discord is also on Utah. Catching the point. So Discord currently on 2 plays. So make sure you bet those. The Fade City Discord. Ole Miss, they're heading to New Orleans. Take on Tulane. Tulane, very good team if you're not paying attention to the group of fives.
Impressive. Can we talk about that?
12:30.
Super impressive week one.
5 turnovers against the South Alabama team we thought was decent.
Pratt had like 3 incompletions the whole game. He was fantastic, man. Tulane was really, really impressive. One of the more impressive teams of week one.
And I think sorry, I was scrambling to pull something up. And I think that what was the spread week one? 6.5?
Yeah.
And I think there was a lot of sharp people on the Jags.
Are you talking about Dundee?
I was paying you a compliment. Ole Miss in this one laying 7.5, minus 300 on the money line. Tulane plus 240, 64.5 is the total. Lane Kiffin,
Lane train,
very quiet so far. Very quiet from Lane so far, which makes me wonder. But yeah, I watched a decent amount of this Tulane game. Shout out to the YouTube TV highlight packages. Shout out to these guys. They're big Tulane guys. I think Miami and New Orleans have the same level of love for the powder stuff too. Tulane. This was one of those ones I looked at the spread and it's like, all right, I think they're trying to trap you with Tulane. Look good. SEC squad coming to town. SEC hasn't looked great to start the season, so maybe people are factoring that in. But this is another no-brainer. Money lines in play. Tulane plus the points. Like that's a Colby would say something like
team.
That's a program that's well put together.
Pratt looked dialed
playing good football. And what did we say about Pratt? Dog.
Yeah, they look better than I've ever seen them look. And another thing to keep in mind is they played in 21, and I believe Pratt was injured this game, if memory serves me correct. And Ole Miss kind of ran it up. So it might be a little personal for old Fritz. I'm all over the points, man. The defensive line for Tulane, very, very impressive. It's going to be interesting to see how Lane works with that because, obviously they have a lot of capable quarterbacks. But the fact it's at Yulman Stadium, the fact, I just think Tulane is they were super impressive to me. They were to me, one of the 5 teams that I jotted down of okay, I'm buying in. I'm buying stock. So I will take the 7.5, ride that money line, though.
Yeah,
Dog.
I definitely
I'm
the
with
money
you.
line play. All right, another one for the Discord. Shout out to the Discord. 3:30 on the West Coast, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Panthers of Pitt are hosting the Bearcats of Cincinnati. Good old fashioned matchup here. Some say they're near each other. If you look at a map, it's amazing how far west Pittsburgh.
River City rivalry, Ryan.
Oh, that's nice because they are on rivers.
Yes.
That's pretty sick. Pittsburgh -7, -310 on the money line. Cincinnati +250. 48.5 is the total. Cincinnati did not seem to be missing Mr. Fickle last week, as they looked all right. Meanwhile, it's Narduzzi and it's laying a touchdown.
Can't do it.
This to me is so easy. One, it's Cincinnati, biggest dog since they were 13-point underdogs to Alabama in the college football playoff. Love that. Cincinnati, you can make a pretty easy case. Their D-line, best unit on the field. And then last, all I need to know is the backyard brawl is next week for Pitt. It is a crazy look-ahead spot. It's Narduzzi laying a big number. Want no part of that. Cincinnati all day.
I'm with you. You got to take the points. Anything more than a touchdown, like Pitt plays down to their competition a lot.
100%.
We worried about Cincinnati with all these transfers coming in, but Emory Jones looked really good against an FCS, but he's also a seventh-year starting quarterback.
I was going to say,
you
he's old.
kind of like that experience. Give me the points with the Bearcats. I think they can hang around enough. I wouldn't be shocked if they won it.
And I'm gonna double check this because I'm seeing some reports that this number has moved.
I saw like 7.5 out there too.
It's leveled out at 7. I think the Sharps came and they saw that 7.5 and they bought up the hook. Because I'm with Sean. I mean, how can you not take – again, I looked at a lot of these matchups, and they seemed pretty obvious based on either market dynamics or situational spots.
Cash the over of Ryan mentioning market dynamics.
Sorry. I'm just making sure everyone understands we're a smart show. 4 p.m. on the West Coast.
TV betting community.
Lubbock, Texas, where Mike Leach once shoved some loser in a shed, and then his dad complained. Look, I'm a youth sports parent. That's some punk-ass bitch move. Complaining about a coach because your son's not getting playing time? Maybe he deserved to get put in that shed. Oregon's laying 7 here down in Lubbock. Texas Tech +210 on the money line. 66.5 is the total.
Love Texas Tech here.
Oh, yeah. You got it.
Love Texas Tech.
I like Oregon as a team. I think I like Bo Nix. They put up 81 against Portland State. What does that mean?
What's up with all this hate with Oregon, dude?
What?
You sound like me talking about Colorado.
No, I like Oregon, but I don't think you can take them here because Texas Tech.
Except the homeless, right?
They got to live somewhere. They're doing a needle exchange at the game.
Wait, no, this is in Lubbock. I don't think so. I think that was at the Portland State game.
Different needle exchange in Lubbock.
Yeah.
Yes. No, it's Texas Tech, a decent program coming off an embarrassing loss in Wyoming. Like I said, when we gave out Wyoming money line, that is 7,100 feet. You're going to feel that in the second half. Probably got some good conditioning in. Meanwhile, Bo Nix didn't even play the second half. He barely played. I think this is going to be a close game, but I like – and Oregon struggles when they leave – when they enter hostile environments, a la Oregon State last year. We saw they personally embarrassed us when we picked them to win in Georgia early on.
Losers.
I think I'm all over Texas Tech here, especially coming off that loss in Laramie.
Yeah, I think it's a great bounce. You're getting a touchdown, so I think moneyline is the play too here. I think this game – Texas Tech bounces back. They always play close games. You know this is going to be a close game. I think the crowd can get them over the top. And like I said, it's Mike Leach week, man. We can't.
You got I do have a special Mike Leach shirt that I'll be wearing on Saturday. So
Noah's pointing out we were all going quack, 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 and then you just cut to the score. It was like 51-3.
Listen, it's about being into what you do, and we were very passionate. Don't hold that against us. So Texas Tech is the play. We're going to unite on that one. I will say this is one of those not going to be tough. Again, I don't want to add too many elements of smart in here, but Texas Tech post-game win expectancy was a little bit too high for a team that ended up losing in double overtime.
Ryan. Hey.
So great regression spot.
Hey, you know what else we're passionate about? Giving you out higher and lower on the Underdog Pick'em. This is so fun. I mean, not only you got it for the National Football League, you also got it for college football. Higher, lower on your favorite fantasy stats. Very easy to get in. Again, you go 3 for 3, you're winning 6 extra money. If you want to go for the big hoagie, you go 5 for 5, you get 20x. I'm going to try and get the phrase big hoagie going. Colby. We're just about to talk about we already talked Texas A&M. Connor Wegman, 229.5 passing yards. Are we going higher or lower for Connor?
I'll go over.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
229.5. Go higher, Colby.
Yeah, let's go higher. Take that, and
I thought if we were going to do a big hoagie special, you were going to throw out the Shadur Sanders passing prop, 297.5.
Toss that
higher,
in there.
lower.
Yeah.
Lower,
297 is
right?
pretty crazy.
Pretty low. Yeah. That's,
Yeah.
All right.
I would actually go lower there, even though I like Colorado.
Yeah. Oh wow. Look at you guys sound like me now. Coming after Colorado, taking a lower.
300 passing yards is a lot.
If I learned one thing from my sister with her time,
I'll take the over.
In her time in Boulder, Colorado.
Woo, it's smoking my weed.
Yeah, not much is happening lower versus higher. If you know what I mean. A lot of higher happening.
Hey, your EV is higher when you use UnderdogFantasy.com and use a promo code SGPN. 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Still time to get in on Best Ball Mania 4. I think it's almost full, Ryan. $15 million. Head over to Underdog Fantasy. You haven't already. Tons of fun over there.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, wow, Sean, we're nearing the end. I'm 99%. So by the time we wake up tomorrow, Best Ball Mania will be over. I already maxed it out, though. No big deal.
Oh, and but before we even talk more games, we are doing with the idea that football is back, as we know, 15% off everything in the merch store. We got some sweet DGen University shirts.
Coach Leach shirts?
The Coach Leach shirts, which I got a number of compliments. When I was placing some bets last time we were in here, I was wearing a Coach Leach Swing Your Sword shirt. Perfect thing to rock around in Vegas or just to honor the great Mike Leach. And the guy writing tickets was like, oh, is that a Mike Leach shirt? I'm like, yeah. And then we talked for a while, and then we were sharing Mike Leach stories. It was awesome. Again, though, we got a bunch of great stuff. We even got some dog stuff. We got a dog water bowl dropping, which is pretty fun merch. Again, 15% off everything in the merch store when you use the promo code football from now until NFL Week 1 ends. So get in.
Nice work. All right, so we did a bunch of agreeing in the last segment. So now the Discord is up to 5 plays. So don't ever tell us we didn't give you anything. Texas, Alabama. This was a great game last year. I believe we were
at the
in this same city, Las Vegas, watching it. Alabama 100% should have lost the game. Somehow Bryce Young fell on his head, but he wasn't down. I forget the exact play.
No, he was
should
down,
have been
but the refs fucked it up. Yeah.
But they didn't rule it a safety, so they couldn't. Yes.
Now Texas, they're heading to Tuscaloosa. Alabama laying 7 minus 275 on the money line. Texas plus 225, 56.5 is the total. You have to believe that Quinn Ewers can show up in Tuscaloosa against an Alabama team that seems dead set on saying, you know what, fuck it. Nick Saban's like, I'm just going to beat. Like, we're going back to old school
on
ball.
their shoulder.
Yeah.
And this Milroe cat, he's good. Like, I've always wanted to see Alabama truly run out like a guy like that and just see what it would look like. I mean, to your point, Colby, like, this is a team that's going to be very difficult to defend. They're going to beat teams up. We should have.
The band won't be able to see the game.
We're absolutely. I'll let Colby get it. We're absolutely going to circle Alabama this year, like we have in the past with Stanford, in terms of a team that's going to beat their opponents up. And maybe we're looking to fade teams the following week after they play Alabama. So for this week, I am laying the points. As I told you on our college football final, I told you a lot of bad things. I changed opinions on a lot of things that looks horribly wrong. But one of the things I changed on that looks horribly right so far is Alabama. And so I
horribly right. That's a great way to describe your predictions.
Well, with Alabama, it is. It's like, how boring. Alabama's back.
No, I get it.
But Alabama laying the touchdown here is the play. Steve Sarkisian coming home. He's probably going to find his way to an old watering a hole or two Maybe he'll say it was medicinal. Maybe he'll say it was a problem.
Maybe he'll sue him.
But I certainly don't think they're going to beat Alabama or cover this spread.
No, I mean, Colby nailed it when we were talking about this game earlier. With the exception of LSU, like, teams just don't go into Tuscaloosa and beat Nick Saban in the Alabama year. Like, well, what am I missing?
Yeah.
I know it's 7 points, but anything that's a one-score game, I like Alabama here. Now, I understand it's a revenge game for Texas. But, yeah, man, and even Texas against Rice, I know it was Rice, and I know they were looking ahead to Alabama, and they were on cruise control, yada, yada. But still, I didn't feel like this is a world-beater team.
Oh, horns down.
Yeah.
Horns down.
There he is.
We got a guy giving us a
Hold
horns
on.
up.
Roll Tide. Let me do my Alabama accent. Roll Tide.
Oh, man. Hopefully they're getting him on camera, because that guy, he was conference drunk. If you're out here in Vegas during the middle of the week, you'll run into people. They're wearing badges. Yeah. They just got out of their last meeting.
Haven't been drunk in 6 months.
The kids are at home. I'm convinced conferences are just a scam to get adults together and get liquored up and wasted in Vegas.
Yeah, that's exactly
it's a great business.
And I was a cool fucking boss. 50-50 rule was my rule. 50% fun, 50% conference. I mean, you got to make sure you hit all the networking events, get trashed. I mean, why else would they be hosted in Vegas? I mean, come on, read between the lines. All right.
I just think this.
I'm riding Bama, man. I think the fact that Texas, looked shaky. I know it was against Rice. And but at the same time, you got to go into Tuscaloosa. Obviously, like Sean said, it's really hard to win in Tuscaloosa.
And walk through the band thing I kind of alluded to, but
last year, so Alabama's band, normally when you travel, they'll put them like by the end zone so you can hear it or somewhere close. Texas put them way up in the furthest possible spot they could.
Roll Tide.
And that really pissed off Alabama. So this year, Alabama's doing the same thing to them, putting them
Roll
way
Tide.
up there. And then, I think the real thing, too, is Quinn Ewers really hasn't beaten many winning teams on the road.
Yeah. Well, a small sample size, I guess, would be his counter.
But he lost in Lubbock last year. Wait, did he play that one?
Loser
he
mentality.
He might not have played that one. But
he lost the mullet.
He lost to the mullet. He did win in
No, I'm saying he lost his mullet. That's the problem.
No, but he also lost to the mullet last year in Stillwater.
That's where he got scalped?
And he looked bad. I do think, he got a dub against, K-State. But in general,
even that Kansas game, I know they won, but it didn't look amazing.
What will Quinn Ewers do at an off-season workout that causes NFL scouts to lose their fucking mind? Because this guy seems like the biggest bust in a while. In terms of
his biggest road game was, like you were saying, at Oklahoma State. He was 18-49, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
This guy went to Ohio State for a year to know he was never going to play because he left high school,
stole their money,
where he couldn't make money on himself. Couldn't make money on himself in Texas, so he left early, enrolled in Ohio State, got his NIL.
Is Bobby Bonilla stealing money? He is stealing money, but at the same time, he was smart enough to take the deal.
Disagree. He took a deal that was at the time was probably a bad deal that's turned into a hilariously good deal.
No, what it worked out to was that the Mets family were like, hey, we're making so much money with this Madoff guy. We're better keeping the money there, and then we'll just defer payments on Bobby Bonilla. The reason they offered that to him, because they had the money. They had the millions to pay him out right there. They were just like, this Madoff guy is printing money.
It's market dynamics. It's
market dynamics.
My money over here is making 15%. I'll just cost myself 3% over here with old Bobby Bonilla. Meanwhile, he still collects a check till when? 2035, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a pro athlete, it keeps it out of your hands, which is probably a plus EV move long term.
When they say you're never supposed to take the money with the lottery like that, it's like,
yeah.
Keep yourself from losing it all at once,
No, they say you should take the money in a lump sum, and then you invest it wisely.
No,
but you
got
to know yourself.
But you always got to watch it. Someone could get married. You got to people with
it's like
coming for you.
It's like when you're up big on a blackjack run, you give someone your chips, and you're like, "Hey, whatever I do, don't give me these chips back." And then, 6 drinks later,
you're like,
give me those
back.
chips. I remember yelling at Ryan's ex-girlfriend, "They're my chips, damn it! Give me my fucking
You
chips."
don't know me.
Fortunately, she was also Irish, so she held stubborn and strong. Did not give Sean the chips.
And I woke up the next morning. She's like, "Here are your chips."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Why are you angry?"
I mean, yeah, Sean definitely would have lost that couple $1,000. All right, Discord just piling them on. Bama, all of us unite.
SEC needs a bounce back.
Which, by the way, are we a little concerned that the SEC has not been holding up their end of the bargain of the best conference in the land?
Are they still going to be in the alliance?
Wait, are they in the alliance now? Are they joining?
They're creating their own alliance.
Well, let's think about it. If the Illuminati conference flexes a little of their power, what if what if a water supply gets poisoned somewhere in Alabama? I don't know. This is the kind of stuff that the Illuminati
got poisoned. Why can't water?
If you've never seen that 30 for 30, you want to see absolute mental sickness at its worst.
What are you talking about? That's college football.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Ultimate mental sickness. This was a fan that felt he needed to poison a 400-year-old tree to prove a point. He was doing his part. All right.
It helps the rivalry.
Moon Bounce is going mobile.
Sorry, trees.
We got UCF going on the road for what has to be the longest road trip of their season. From UCF all the way to Idaho, Boise State. 4 p.m. on the West Coast. Boise State catching 3.5 here. Plus 135 on the money line. Minus 160 for UCF. 57.5 is the total. This is another auto play for me. Boise State got waxed by a team that I loved all offseason until the very end for some dumbass reason. Mr. Michael Penix in Washington looking electric. Now they're at home. They're against a UCF team that is traveling all the way across, which, by the way, their quarterback does look fucking electric.
Plumlee
Looks electric. But to me, the spread is begging me to take Boise State. The situation is begging me to take Boise State. And the money splits are begging me to take Boise State. So why are you not taking Boise State with me, Colby?
No, I am.
Perfect. I'm on the right side.
Well, does this change your guys' opinion? No. UCF is practicing on a blue field at a K-12 school.
I did see that.
In Oviedo, Florida.
That is some – who's the coach at UCF right
Gus
now?
Malzahn.
That is some Gus Malzahn
That almost
bullshit.
is like you're letting them get to you, that you're messing up your practice routine to play on their dumbass blue turf.
Here's the thing, man.
Which I think is charming, but still.
It's not charming. It's stupid.
We on the TCE show, we've been like Rice Plumlee fans when he was at Ole Miss. We knew he was going to work out, but I still think he struggles with accuracy passing, right? And going across country to a place that I quickly Googled this.
You get some elevation nuggets?
No, just Boise State's 125 and 11 since 2000
at home.
Yeah,
they're not quite Utah, but they're up there as far as they are a different team at home.
23 years of football.
That's better.
23 years of football with 11 losses.
Who has a better home
I
edge
don't know
over
that
time?
anybody
Alabama?
does. Maybe, but no, because Saban came in 08, so you had 8 like shitty years. I don't know.
That's one loss every 2 years.
Yeah, I mean that's you got, and then the fact that they just got their ass whooped. I think the fact that UCF played Kent State, who I think is one of the 3 worst teams in the college football. We might have a little overreaction on how good UCF really is. And I think
Half Mile High in Boise.
Yeah.
Half Mile High.
There we go.
I mean, Orlando
It's
is
just
basically under sea level.
It's a situation spot. Boise State, after a loss at home against a UCF team that's traveling forever to get to them.
Also, we are not, along with standing with Oregon State and Washington State, we're also a Mountain West show now.
Oh, we are.
Oh, what's this? Oh my God, we got shoes on the desk.
Oh, look at that right there.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Are you able to zoom in and see Colby's Mountain West
Oh,
socks?
wow. No one expected to see that.
When you're up in the
YouTube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast.
mountains, they'll keep you warm, baby.
Honestly, those are the kind of socks that if they found you in the mountains, they might want to make you their bitch. Hey, those are some nice socks there, boy. Wisconsin heads to Pullman. Speaking of Washington State, 4:30 on the West Coast to take on our Washington State Cougars.
So let me get this straight.
Wisconsin's laying a touchdown. What?
Yeah, let me get this straight.
Minus 240 on the money line.
Hold
What?
on.
Washington State plus 200. What?
So
55.5 is the total.
So there's been rumors that you might have a Coach Leach-inspired helmet from Washington State.
Yes.
There's been.
Yes.
I know their head coach Jake Dickert is wearing the Pirate shirt, and then you add in the fact that Washington State beat them in Madison last year, and then Wisconsin wants to go air raid. They didn't look very good against Buffalo. You want to go air raid against a team that's been fucking killing it with the air raid for the past decade?
Yeah.
Wazoo all day.
Yeah.
And you add
yeah.
in the disrespect. They're not allowed to the party of the Power Fives anymore. Fuck you.
Chip on
All
the
right?
shoulder.
And
Fuck you.
If you're going to be there, make sure you go to the Coug, find an older lady, and buy her a drink. Make someone's day.
I mean, Cam Ward looked awesome against a Colorado State team that I thought, obviously they're lower competition, but I still thought they're a to put up 500 yards against Colorado State, I think was good. And Mordecai's, they obviously they took care of Buffalo, but he still threw 2 picks. I just don't. Man, I don't see why this is 7. This should be like 4.5.
Dude, Wazoo should be
4.
favored. They haven't had a Power 5 come into Pullman since 1998 because no one wants to play there because
It's
it's
a
hard
tough spot
to
to get a win.
Yeah, it's hard to get a dub. Let's go.
Are they taking the bus, Wisconsin? They fly out there. Because we flew out. It's not an easy flight.
Non-con, obviously.
Capwise pointing out Boise State's ATS record 34-46 against the spread at home since 2010, which
But
is
they
a great
don't lose.
point. But yeah, most of those I think I would imagine are not covering as a big favorite. But in this case, they're a home dog. So
Also, better if you agree with us more explicitly in your commenting. Works better for us.
Capwise, I know he's he might be a Colorado. I think he's a Colorado guy. I don't know if he's a Colorado State guy, but
No, me and him are both on the Colorado State over.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
And it's still looking a little shaky after week 1, but we're still sticking by it.
Fort Collins, elite,
Great college
elite
town. Yeah.
town. I'll go. I'm not going to say college town. Elite United States of America town.
Okay. Comedy Fort, great comedy club if you're in the Fort Collins area.
I know we're getting to the end here, but we might have to talk about a little Coach Leach parlay. I think at the end.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Let's not forget that.
I couldn't fit Mississippi State, Arizona on the board, but if you wanted to add that to the mix, I think Mississippi State's laying like 7 or 8.
It's 9 now.
Okay.
Arizona, Jason Delora. He strikes me.
Jaden.
What did I say, Jason?
Jason, yeah.
Oh, that's the
Jason.
singer.
That's
Jason
kinda-
Derulo. Maybe I'm combining quarterbacks. He strikes me as the
Ultimate
kind of
old
guy that might get hurt in the SEC. You know what I mean? Smaller frame.
SEC.
All right, we made it to the end.
Let's go.
Wait, so the Discord, just to wrap it up, the Discord is officially on. Notre Dame -8, Utah -7.5, Ole Miss -7.5, Pitt -7, Oregon -7, Texas +7, and UCF -3.5, and Wisconsin -7. That's a full card.
Yeah.
We gave you 8 picks.
Those are some barfy
Wait, we
plays, though.
agreed on eight things, guys.
Wow.
That's kind of weird. You guys were talking a lot of shit. I also remember the chat was making fun of me for taking a lot of favorites. I seem to see a lot more dogs on my side. All right, you want my lock, Sean?
Yep. It's going to be Nebraska +3 if I had to guess.
Oh, you would love that. You would absolutely love that. Lock number 1, give me Texas A&M as they slaughter Miami.
Oh, okay. See, I'm on Miami, but I wouldn't lock it up.
Lock number 2, I see how people could get in my grill about taking all of these favorites, but I am going to take Bama laying the 7 for my dog.
Oh, scared to play Nebraska, Colby, or is he?
I didn't fade Colorado in my locks last week either. Get off my. I mean, come on, you guys are absolutely ridiculous.
We coming.
Tulane on the money line.
Ooh,
Plus 240 is going to be the dog. Tease. We're going to get Boise up to 9.5 because that's what Colby
Great
went to.
tease.
We're going to get Cincinnati up to 13. And we're going to get Baylor up to 13.5. That felt like a Colby special right there. And I would suggest, I had it written down, but like Colby mentioned, Mississippi State is laying 9. I'm going to suggest we take that, we tie it to Texas Tech catching the points, and we tie it to Washington State catching the points. We can do money line if you guys want.
Here's the only thing.
Whoa. What do you mean the only thing?
I'm all over Texas Tech, but remember, they didn't pay Mike Leach's money.
Yeah.
Ooh, so we're not putting them in there.
So that's the only thing is little bad juju on that, maybe.
Okay.
But I love
Sean?
the Texas Tech angle.
Tulane out, Washington State money line in.
There we go.
You're right. Fuck Texas Tech. It's fake-ass Raiders. Although, I mean,
I'm still taking it.
Honestly,
I feel good about the Texas Tech.
Honestly, we're going to look back and we're going to look at that Craig James, whatever his son's name was, incident.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning of the end of sports. That was the beginning of the end of sports.
No overreaction there.
Yeah, little bitch.
What's a bigger overreaction?
It never
Me
even
calling
really
that the
happened,
beginning of
too.
the end,
If you knew the story, it didn't even really happen the way that everyone knows it to be.
Well, I just think sometimes you need to discipline kids. I mean, if you're a parent, you understand. Sometimes you got to cross a line to show someone that a line is there, and that's all Coach Leach did. Anyway, that's
My lock.
Fucking hot day. What a pussy.
Give me Cincinnati +7. For my other lock, give me Washington State +7. For my dog, give me Tulane on the money line. Love that opportunity there.
Snuck in as soon as I hopped off it, huh?
Yep. Give me Bama down to 1. Give me Boise State up to 9.5.
Some sloppy seconds.
And then Iowa State +10.
Oh,
no way Iowa wins by 10.
I'm predicting Ferentz puts 9 points in the bag, scoring 35 this week.
Oh, all right. Play that team total then.
I mean, that's the game total. It's definitely going way over.
Colby, how say you? What do you got?
Colby looks shocked, like he's seeing a ghost right now on the
No,
screen.
it's just me being incredibly pale in the studio, man.
Colby's sensitive about how he looks.
I am a ghost in the studio.
There's some people walking by outside. Does this guy look scary
I
white?
should scare them.
Does he?
I should definitely scare them. There we go.
Horns down. Horns down.
The lock. Colorado -3.
Oh,
fuck
stop
you,
it.
Nebraska.
Love
You talk
that.
that shit. You talk that shit all off season, Matt Rule, and now you're ducking it. You're gonna get fucked up, all right, with your little corn-fed little shits. All right.
Whoa, that feels offensive.
Let's go. Let's go.
You realize that Colorado still calls themselves Buffaloes, even though they have a bison as their mascot.
Oh, stop it, buddy. Your Hokies are fucking pathetic.
War
right?
turkey.
Yeah.
Fictitious war turkey, not a real animal.
The dog. We're going, man, I don't want to agree with him, but I feel like.
Yeah, you got
I'm on Washington State as well. And I think we cook up a Coach Leach parlay that includes Washington State and maybe some other dogs we like in Mike Leach's honor because we're going to swing our sword.
Wazoo money line. Even though, hold on, what's the. Yeah, Wazoo money line.
Well, or
Coach
do you want?
Leach.
Or do
There's
you
a
wanna,
lot out there that I like.
Or do you
I
want to
think
give
Tulane
us?
could do it. Yeah.
I think you should. No, I'm not here to coach you up, Colby, but. If you could give us a third, then I think that could complete a 3-team round-robin moneyline parlay, which would be intriguing for the audience. But if you want to go Washington State, we can do the parlay after.
Okay.
Colby, do not let him influence you.
Let's go. Let's get Baylor money line +250.
Okay, you're going Baylor. All right.
Wait, what were you telling me to do?
No. I didn't know. I
He
thought
wanted
maybe you were
you to
gonna
pick something different that he
No.
agreed with more.
I was just gonna say.
Try again.
No. I was saying if you want to throw out a third one for the parlay, if you want to put Washington State as your money line dog for the sheet, that's cool too. It's your pick.
Oh well, no, we're gonna do a third one. When we get to it.
Then Washington State is your official dog.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
I don't want to move you off.
Yeah, I mean the Tease.
Yes.
Let's go. Bama down to 1.
Yeah, that's. Come on.
We're also going to go. Boise up to 9.5.
Yep.
And we will also go with. Can I go the under on Iowa? Iowa State at 42.5.
Total guy.
All right.
I mean, that one's, come on, that's definitely hitting. That's definitely fucking hitting.
Colby
guys,
turned
right?
into a total guy right in front of our eyes, Ryan. We didn't even see it coming.
The bonus lock,
Yes.
let's go back to Baylor +7.5.
Okay.
Yeah, they're getting it done. Let's go. And then for the lock, or sorry, the parlay.
So we got Tulane, we got Washington State. We both agree on that as a money line dog, right?
For Coach Leach, but wait, we said we're not going to do Texas Tech, right?
Well, I liked again, I'm with you guys. I like Texas Tech. We agree on that.
Baylor is starting one of Mike Leach's quarterbacks.
See, that's the way to do it, right?
That's what I'm talking about, guys. When we do this, we come together.
Tulane, Washington State.
What's Tulane
Baylor.
got to do with this?
The Tulane thing has nothing to do with
It's
Leach.
confusing to me.
No,
Why are we?
yeah,
What are we
but
there's no
we're just-
You
narrative.
don't think, Ryan? You don't think Old Mike Leach up in heaven wouldn't like to see Ole Miss lose in New
That's
Orleans.
true. We are fading Ole Miss.
A guy who loved to fuck with Lane Kiffin, you don't think he'd like to see Lane lose?
You guys want to just throw in Valdosta State? The Blazers are taking
What's
on
that line?
Albany State
What's that line?
this weekend. They will be dogs. They're 1-0 on the season.
I'll take Valdosta.
The Albany State Golden Rams are in the crosshairs. Yeah, I mean, we could maybe choose a. I mean, if you wanted to tie it in, I guess I could see Sean long way around tying it in there.
Yes. Come on. Swing your sword. Shout out to Mike Leach. Shout out to you, the audience. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Get in on the free roll football contest. So much fun. Free. The link is in the SGPN app. Very easy to use that. Shout out to all the Patreons. Appreciate the support. And appreciate you believing in yourself for your chance to double up your prizes there in the contest. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. Of course, use that promo code football. 15% off all the merch. Get you some football gear for the NFL and college season. And when Ryan and I return tomorrow, 9:30 Pacific, we're live breaking down NFL Week 1. Oh, listen to that noise. It's here.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Dear Coach Leach, root for Tulane this weekend.
Chris, let it ride.